What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Social City Podcast, Episode 3, Season 1. I'm your host, Omar Foster, at Old School Omar. This is my beautiful wife, Aubriana Cherie Foster.
Dang,
at Aubrey.
full name now.
I love the full name. People got to know your full name, you know? Aubriana, it's a beautiful thing. On today's episode, we're going to be chatting about the most rewarding part about being a coach. We've got 4 coaches joining us on today as special guests. Of course, we got our obsession of the week, and then we'll finish off with some gratitude. But first, our sponsor of the week. This week, we've got Pillar Kinetic Physical Therapy, y'all. Formerly known as White Wong PT, Erica and Joe have been incredible supporters of the Social City and Las Vegas CrossFit community as a whole. You may have seen them at local events, hosting free seminars around the valley to support and educate members, and they're just downright good people, you know? These guys walk the walk, they train the way we train, so they speak our language. If you've ever been injured, you know what it's like to work with someone around recovery who doesn't understand your training or your goals. And Aubrey and I both work with them personally around our injuries, right? I've had knee issues, double knee surgery, chronic arthritis, inflammation and swelling, and those guys are always willing to give me some tips and tricks to help activate my glutes, strengthen the muscles around my knees that are weak. And you've done some work with them recently with your hip and stuff.
Yeah, so I had a hip injury about 6 months ago and worked with Erica around some PT. She did some dry needling and just was so attentive to kind of the root cause of the issue. So there was the injury, right, that happens with training. It's just the nature of the beast. But she was so attentive of taking care of me and giving me different tips and tricks. But you know what really, really was so special to me? I'm home with the kids all the time. And when I have these appointments, it's during the day. And so if you're a mom, it's super stressful to like take your kids to a doctor appointment. If you've been there, if you know, you know. And I got to tell you, watching them with our kids, like for me, that's like how you treat my children, like that sets the bar for like your character. And Joe and Erica are just amazing. Joe would help kind of take care of the kids when I was getting some dry needling done, and they were just so attentive all around, not just to the treatment, but just the entire experience. I can't recommend those guys enough.
Yeah, they're just get down to earth people. They drop into the gym, you know, once or twice a week.
Yeah.
They've been around for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
They're just good people. We love you guys. Pillar Kinetic, check them out. PillarKinetic.com is the website.
That's right. And at Pillar Kinetic on Instagram. So if you have any injuries, chronic or acute or otherwise, definitely go and check them out.
Yeah, so here we go. After 14 years of being in the health and fitness space, we have heard hundreds of collective stories, conversations, and perspectives that have created so much inspiration in our own lives that we wanted to bring them beyond the 4 walls of the gym and share them on a greater platform. Our goal is to share some of our favorite personalities, stories, and perspectives that continue to inspire us. Episode 3. Woo! Yippee! We're rolling, guys. Episode 2, we had some of our legacy members. We got to induct them into the Social City Hall of Fame. That was super cool. And then for those who weren't at that episode, we gave those awards out to them at the gym this week. So I gave an award to John Forsythe. He got a little shy in front of class, called him out. He doesn't like attention at all, but it felt good to give him that award. And then we had Kat Ninja as well.
Yeah.
Kat T. Gonzalez, she's been with us since 2012. Yep. And it just feels good to like recognize that duration of time being at our gym, you know? It's worth the recognition.
Totally. So are we technically in the Hall of Fame? Like, can you be in the Hall of Fame if you've made the Hall of Fame?
I don't think it works that way. I think you have to be like inducted into the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah. But I mean, technically you've been a coach. And if we're being really technical, I think I'm a day one member.
Oh, you would be the first member.
I only started coaching a couple months ago.
Oh, you're right. I mean, I guess I owe you a big award.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
I'm so excited to have the coaches on today because when people think about Social City, they see just you and I as a face, but the success of Social City runs deeper than that. If it wasn't for our coaches, we wouldn't be where we are today. And we've got some longtime coaches who have been super loyal to us as a business. There through thick and thin, and just overall care about the people in our community, in our gym. So without further ado, let's welcome our ladies coach, Jody and Coach Vanessa, to the show. Make some noise,
ladies.
Y'all.
Welcome.
Hi.
Yeah,
Thank you.
say what's up to the people.
Hello. What's up?
How you guys feeling? Let's take a second to like brag about these ladies.
Do you want to go first or do I go?
Like Coach Jody is just an amazing coach. She's an endurance athlete. She loves the cardio. She loves the running. She hates the bike.
I hate the bike.
No bike, no rowing. She would rather run all day long.
Yep.
She's a loving wife, and they have hosted our annual Ugly Sweater Party for the past 3 years now. Thank you guys for that. We're so grateful to keep that tradition rolling year after year.
Hostess with the mostest.
Hostess with the mostest. And then we got Vanessa Bates at No IGV.
Thanks to you.
Yes, we bullied Vanessa into getting an Instagram.
We did. We're known for that.
And her name is No IGV. I just find that so funny.
I know. We were laughing last night talking about you guys coming on the show last night. We were talking about that story. But remember how Vanessa didn't have an IG forever? We'd be like, Vanessa, we're trying to tag you. Yeah. And then you came up with the name.
Yeah.
Nope.
Hilarious.
Still not my thing. But it's all good.
And Vanessa is one of the strongest women I know.
100%.
300-pound back squat club.
I got to get
I've
back
seen
there.
it.
That's the goal.
I witnessed it.
Don't
Blew my
diminish
mind.
it. It happened.
It happened? That's all that matters.
Listen,
Once.
that's all it takes.
Exactly.
That's all it takes.
So you guys have been around for a while. You guys are new to the podcast, so we got to hit you guys with the icebreaker. So give everyone your name, give us something cool in the bucket list, and then give us the favorite Disney classic movie. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So I'm Vanessa.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Vanessa.
My bucket list. My husband's not listening, so I can say this. I want to get to Alaska to see the Northern Lights.
Oh,
It was on the plan for this year. We had to change it, but we're going to get there.
Yes.
And my favorite classic Disney movie is The Lion King.
Has it always been The Lion King?
Always been The Lion
Okay, so
King.
the kids didn't influence it one way or another.
That's not
that's
classic.
It. Okay.
They
All
they
right.
like the new
They
stuff.
like the new
Yeah.
stuff. You're right. Okay. I'll take it. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm Jody.
Hi, Jody.
Hey. On my bucket list is to travel to all of the continents.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
That's awesome. How many have you hit so far?
I don't know how many, but a bunch.
Yeah. I mean, you do a lot of traveling. If you guys need any
Travel a
travel
lot.
tips, the
Yeah.
travel radish
Yeah.
right
Travel
here.
radish right there.
That's right.
Ask me about travel. And then classic Disney movie. I'll say Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
I love Little Mermaid. It's full of culture, the music, Sebastian, Flounder, all those characters. Little Mermaid is my jam. Before we get into our topics with you guys, we're going to play a little game called This or That. Are you guys ready? So, Vanessa, you're going to go first. Yours is based off of a movement. Now, if you had to do a 1 rep max right now today, would you be doing a back squat or a deadlift?
Oh, deadlift.
Deadlift. There it is.
That's my
Deadlift,
girl.
y'all.
That was
That's my
easy.
girl.
What's your all-time deadlift PR?
Ooh, not as much as you would think. Maybe 345.
345?
Oh,
Not as heavy.
Oh, not as heavy as you
Sorry.
think.
Okay, just
lifting a house.
Just
It's
lifting a
fine.
house, no big deal. Jody, yours is movement as well. A little bit different, but same.
Okay.
On a mile run Monday, would you rather do 2 800-meter runs or 4 400-meter runs?
2 800-meter runs.
2 800
Yeah,
No
see, she likes
question.
that
She likes the
distance.
distance. She's just now warming up after the 800.
That's right.
Yeah, no
Like, what's
question.
your distance where you think you're finally warming up at if you're doing a run?
3 miles?
3 miles is when that's when Jody's warming
That's
up.
a real endurance athlete right
Yeah,
there. They're like,
totally.
oh, at 3 miles, when most of us are like, oh, I was done after mile 1. That was my run.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
All right, here we go. Vanessa, we're going to hit you with some clothing.
This is going to be a hard one.
Here we go.
I know we were debating on what you would pick last night.
Is it Lululemon or is it Fleo? Which one you picking?
We know you like them Fleo shorts, girl.
Yes, Fleo for the shorts, but it's Lululemon in general because I can wear them.
Head
All
to
day.
toe.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
That's
because
a
the Fleo, all you have really is the Fleo shorts.
I do have a lot of their leggings, but they don't have a lot of other stuff. Lulu, you've got your jackets, your tank tops.
All
There
the
you
things.
go. Yeah, that's toss up. Did you say Lulu?
I did.
Okay,
I think
yeah.
when we ended, I was like, oh, just because of the versatility.
You
Do-
got
do you-
that comfy mom athleisure.
Yeah,
Is that
straight
what
from
it's
the
still called?
gym to the grocery store to whatever else needs to be
School
handled.
pickup.
Yeah,
and then
everything.
Dance lessons and gymnastics.
All
and
the things.
all the things.
Athleisure.
all the things.
Jody, clothing for you. Is it Noble or Lululemon?
Oh, it's Lulu for sure.
Lulu for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hear that, Lulu?
Lulu
we got
gets
some
the wins.
coaches over at Social
sponsor
City.
for
Yeah, you know,
episode
next
4.
episode. All right, and then we're going to switch gears over into food. Vanessa, if you had to choose between a pancake or a waffle, which one are you?
Oh,
That's tough, right?
probably the pancake
Ooh, why? Why the pancake over the waffle?
because it's easier to cut.
Spoken like a true mom again.
I guess.
You gotta cut it up and eat it fast.
Because the waffles you got to cut, right on the lines. No, the
I
pancakes.
guess, yeah. Sometimes I just eat it by hand. You know, you
Omar
break it
really
in
likes a
4.
waffle because he takes the butter and he likes to put it in like every little square. He'll put like his honey.
Yeah,
in
you
there,
put the honey or the syrup and
Yeah.
cover every
See,
little square.
kids
and
ain't
it's
got
done.
time for that.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
want to eat.
Spoken like a mom.
I guess you're right. All right, Jody, food. Is it Mexican or sushi?
Mexican.
Mexican.
I guess that
you
too.
do
Yeah,
guess that, for
definitely.
sure.
Man, I feel like I
What's
know
the
our
spot?
coaches.
What's the Mexican spot in Vegas?
Anything that's got cheese, salsa, guac.
But like what restaurant? You guys have a restaurant that you guys frequent for Mexican?
No,
No. She's like,
Have you been to
all of
Flaming
it.
Wands?
Yes.
not for a long time.
Oh, I love
Flaming
that
Wands is
place.
jam.
We just went there a few weeks ago. We hadn't been in so long because the way
There's always a long
again,
wait.
kids, like we don't wait, like if we're going to sit and eat. And then if we do a date night, we're definitely not waiting because it's like, we're paying for this time. I don't know if I want to pay my sitter to wait to eat.
Yeah.
But we went recently and the time is apparently at like 2:00.
Yes, exactly.
There ain't nobody there.
So you got the old folks dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm not ashamed. Do what you got to do to get it in. So
Right before they switch the lunch menu over to dinner and it goes $12 more.
that's the other hack too.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Hashtag budget
All right,
life.
so that was some good insight on this or that. Now we'll jump into some of our questions. So tell the people a little bit about your background and how you got into coaching and this style of training. Vanessa?
So I started with CrossFit. My husband was deployed and he found CrossFit on deployment. And I was bored sitting at home and he said, you should try it out. So at this point, there was maybe 2 or 3 gyms in Las Vegas. So I found one, started training, of course, fell in love.
What year was that?
2010.
Yeah,
OG.
that's
Been
right.
doing this a long time.
Yeah.
Took my L1 right away. I was one of those crazy people, just got
Oh, drink the Kool-Aid.
obsession of the week. That was my obsession. I got crazy about it. And I just stuck with it. We talked about Cat Ninja. She's been through all the seasons. So have I. I'm jumping ahead here. It's
No, you're
something
good.
I could always come back to.
Yeah.
It's always there. So it's worked. It's worked well for me for, would that be 14 years
Yeah.
coming up?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. Jody, what about you?
Yeah, probably somewhere around 2007 I started
Ooh,
CrossFit.
man.
So it's been a while.
OG.
The
OG.
Yeah, the real OG.
Yeah.
That's like learning CrossFit on YouTube years.
Yeah. So started out as personal trainer and coaching boot camp, and then found CrossFit and was given the opportunity to get my level 1 and level 2, and was coaching at a couple of gyms here in town, and then had the opportunity with Omar and Abby, which has been
Yeah.
the best. So it's been great.
That's cool because Jody and I worked out at CrossFit Las Vegas
Yes.
together
Back in the
back in the
day.
day. That was like I got there like 2011, I think it was.
It's like 13 years.
Yeah, man.
Wow, that
Time
goes so
flies.
fast. What
Holy-
a cool thing, man. It's such a cool thing to have so many people in our circle for such an extended period of time, because I have so many friends at this phase of life where it's like you rarely have touch points with people that you care about that much. And I know we talked about it on the last episode, but like what a true blessing to have you guys around so long. I mean, you guys have been in our tribe for a long time and through all the seasons. It's such a special thing.
Yeah. So tell us, we know that you guys coach for us part-time, but what's the full-time gig?
So I work for the power company, NV Energy.
Power.
Yay.
Gotta have power.
You do have to have power.
I'm a manager over there. I've actually been there 15 years, so just slightly
See,
longer.
she's loyal.
Congrats. Yeah,
all
she is
around.
super loyal.
All around.
Maybe I don't like change.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, same. Girl, same. Not mad at that.
And then Jody, what's the full-time gig?
Yeah, my day job, I'm a speech pathologist. I work at a large hospital here in town. I've also been there forever. So
I see a theme here. I see very dedicated people, right?
Very
Dedicated people to their
people.
people,
Yeah.
to their places.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then go ahead and tell us what's the most rewarding part about being a coach, would you say?
Ooh, for me, it's when I see somebody accomplish something that I knew they could do already.
Mm-hmm.
We see people struggle and sell themselves short. I can't do that. That's too heavy. I'm not strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
But you're watching the way they're moving and you know
It's coming.
they can do it. And you're telling them, I know you can do this. And you're getting a lot of pushback. And then when it finally happens, it's more than just seeing them do it. It's the look on their face
Yes.
when they realize they accomplished something.
Yes.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's deeper than just the physical aspect of it because you get to see the shift in
Yeah.
their mindset and they start to grow confidence. And
I'm always joking with my people, my classes, because I'm always telling them, come on, guys, we can do hard things. You know, I'm trying to keep it light, but it's so true. And then, you know, when they hit that point, it's like, see, you did something hard,
Yeah.
but you got it. So
yeah, it was like the one thing stopping them from getting there was just believing in themselves.
Isn't
so
that
to be
always
able-
the way? We're
Yeah.
always in our
Always.
own way, right?
But
I
to be
think,
able
I
to-
think it's like the physical though is so measurable, right? Like it's such an outwardly measurable thing where it's like there might be hurdles that we have mentally or emotionally that are super hard to tackle, but that's something that's kind of an internal struggle sometimes. But there's something about physically doing something hard that you didn't think that you could, especially when there are people around you that were speaking life into you about it before, it just changes things. It changes the way that you might view yourself or what you're capable of. And you can kind of tap into that when you're facing other stuff, right? Yeah. So cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, Jody, you've been running boot camps for a long time now. Tell us a little bit about the boot camp. Like, what time you get up? What time the class starts? How long it runs?
Yeah,
Give us a little spiel on it.
Boot camp is early. We start at 4:45.
Ooh.
Go to
Y'all think 5
5:30.
a.m. is early. That extra 15 minutes makes a difference when we're getting up at that hour.
What's your wake up time? What's your alarm set for?
Oh, I set my alarm for 3.
Gangster. That's gangster.
Yeah, I go to my day job like right after boot camp. I'm running. But yeah, boot camp's been great. I have a lot of loyal, long-term people who I've been coaching, and it's a lot of fun. It's out in the park, it's outside, it's rain or shine.
Yeah, when it's been
Hardcore.
freezing, she'll come to 6:30, and I'm like, "Did you just coach boot camp?" Because I mean, it's cold outside.
Yeah,
She's
for
like,
sure.
"Oh yeah," and people show up. I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, they show up for you, girl. That says a lot. That says a lot."
It's like the same when people ask, like, you cold plunged this morning? It's 30 degrees outside. It was snowing in certain areas of town. You're like, yeah,
Stay hard.
Get up and do it. Stay hard. So give us the most rewarding part about coaching for you.
Yeah, similarly to what V said, when something clicks, when someone finally gets something, they're coming, they're working on something, giving them cues, you're giving them corrections, and finally they're like, oh, yeah, I get what you were saying. And they're able to do whatever it is, maybe that first push-up, maybe the first pull-up, first squat, getting, their hips below their knees, just anything. It's just great when it clicks because then they can build on that. So to see that and be part of that journey for them is amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love to hear it.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies, so much for coming on today's episode. We're so lucky to have you guys with us and a part of our gym for as long as you guys have been there for. We love you. But before we let you guys go, we're going to get into this obsession of the week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you guys know we're always on our little kicks. Now that we have our coaches on, we're going to let them share what their obsession of the week is. Who wants to go first?
Jody.
Jody, give it to us. What do you got for obsession of the week?
All right. Well, we're always trying to get that little bit extra protein in during the day. So my current obsession is chomp sticks.
Yes,
Ooh, those are
they're
bomb.
so good.
They're good. They're good. I like the turkey ones.
Tell me about chomp sticks.
They're
They're
good.
so good. I think they sell them
know
at Costco. I mean, I don't shop at
They
Costco.
sell them at
I
Trader
probably
Joe's.
should.
They sell them at a bunch of places.
They're like a pretty clean version of a beef stick,
jerky.
basically.
Yeah, it's very clean. I think it's like 10 or 12 grams of protein. So like pair
Tasty.
that with something else for a little snack. And yeah,
You guys,
it's good.
How many-
Jody is a nutrition guru too, by the way. Like if you want to see someone with discipline around their nutrition, Jody is a good accountability partner, man. Like she is so on point with that stuff. And I'm always like,
I try.
No, you do. There's no trying. You
I'm
do.
sure Pete has a different opinion on how strict Jody is with nutrition.
That's why he looks so great. Sometimes us ladies need to whip you guys into shape.
Ah, man, you're right. You're not wrong about that. You ain't wrong.
It's true.
What do you got, Vanessa?
Okay, so this is my total lame answer. Meal prepping my breakfast.
No, that is
Because
a hack, a life hack right there.
I get up not as early as Jody, but I'm in the office between 6 and 6:30, and I don't make time in the morning. So I get up, I get dressed, I'm in the office, and then it might be 2 or 3 hours before I can eat.
Mhm.
And if I don't have food with me, then it's like, well, I guess at that point I'll just wait till lunch. And now it's 6 hours after I woke up, I still haven't eaten. So
Yep.
I'm really trying to meal prep for the whole week. Did it this morning.
Look
It
at
was a
you
win.
go,
Nice.
girl.
That's
I know, right?
Daily
week,
wins.
Week 2
Daily
of this,
wins.
so we'll see how long it lasts. But that's my obsession.
What do
right
they
now.
say? Like 21 days to form a habit?
Yeah, something like that.
So
Something
you
like that.
almost there. You almost there. One more week.
We'll get there.
It'll be set.
Awesome. Thank you again, ladies. Abby, what do you got? Obsession of the week.
Ooh, I had a plan earlier, but then Omar messed up my obsession of the week.
What?
So I am obsessed this week with Omar's ribs.
Oh, yeah.
Yo. I mean, I know we talked about home cooked meals like last week, and thank you for always like plugging me on how great of a chef I am, which, I don't know if that's really true, but thank you. But O made ribs on Thursday, and they were so lip smacking good that we literally made them again on Friday. Like
We did.
like not even twice in the week. It was like
Twice in 24 hours.
100%.
Like 12
and
hours.
if you guys, I was a vegetarian for like 7 years, like 100 years ago, right? It was a long time ago. But like ribs and like meat on bone has never necessarily been like my
True, you've never been, like,
thing,
a rib
right?
person.
But I love steak or whatever. These ribs, I mean, Tia Yem, Omar's mom, knows how to clean a bone. If you ever go out to eat with her, you better not leave a little scrap of meat on there, or she will call you out.
Yeah, she will.
She would have been
Wasting
really
food.
proud of me. I was like, that thing was clean. 'Cause they
Dangerously
were
good.
so good.
Yeah, if you guys
So,
are looking
like,
for a bomb rib recipe,
Yep.
Instapot ribs takes about 23 minutes to cook with a 5-minute vent, and then you throw them in the broiler for like 2 minutes, slap some barbecue sauce on them, and they
slap
so
it.
good, make you want to slap your mama.
I mean, for
Finger licking good.
I mean, legit, they were that good. I'm like still thinking about it. I'm like, I'm definitely putting more ribs in the butcher box next time for
Yeah,
sure.
for
So
sure. I
that's
like
my
that.
obsession.
Hey.
I mean, hats off to Omar for real. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome. I have to make a rib truck. Instapot the ribs.
We're gonna need a bigger Instapot for sure.
Yeah, so I guess
What about you?
my obsession of the week, last episode and this episode, I've been rocking these little polo collared shirts from Buffalo Exchange. It's gonna be my obsession of the week. We've
like
been there
that.
twice and it's been really fun.
Yeah, we made a date out of it too.
Yeah, because we don't really shop very much, and I
No.
feel like it's different looking online. It's just not the same as being like in a store and touching and feeling and going through the racks. And then what I realized this last time is like there are people out there with similar fashion to me. Like, why do I not come to the store more often? So I was able to pick up like last week's shirt, this week's shirt, this little duck. Can you guys see that?
We should name him.
Yeah, that little
That guy
duck
named-
detail on there. That's super
dope.
cool.
I love that guy.
So I think I figured out the trick is I need to take old clothes that I have because I got mad 5'11", skinny Levi jeans. I got some good polo, like pearl snap button shirts. So I think the key is when you buy stuff, you wear them 2 or 3 times, and then you go back and you take them to exchange
It's
it for
the
something
recycle
else.
part.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the first time I went, I think I was just looking for money. So
No.
they took like
Omar?
they took like 13 of my
hustler?
items, and they were like, "We can either give you $280 in store credit, you can go shopping, or we'll give you $110 in cash." And I was like,
you took the cash,
That's
didn't
not
you?
a fair exchange, but I'm just looking for the cash. So anyway, shout out to Buffalo Exchange. We'll be back there to get some more outfits for the next episode.
That's right.
Now we're gonna welcome the fellas to the
Hey,
show. We got
boys
Coach
club,
Tim and
boys
Coach
squad.
Jay. Welcome to the stage, boys. Make some noise. Make some noise. We got the boys on the stage.
Hella blessed.
Stay hella blessed. So before we get into some questions, we gotta hit you guys with 3 things.
That's right.
You guys are new to the podcast, but not new to Social City.
That's right.
So we need to get your guys' name, something cool on the bucket list, and your favorite Disney classic movie. 3, 2, 1. Hit him with it, Tim.
All right, my name's Tim.
Hi,
Hey,
Tim.
Tim.
Something cool on the bucket list. I would love to backpack Italy.
Ooh,
So, like,
take
a
me with
month
you. Put me in the
and,
backpack.
Yeah, take a month and just hike through Italy,
Oh yeah.
north to south,
Dope. I love that.
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Favorite Disney classic. Grew up watching Sleeping Beauty.
Mm.
Obsessed with it.
Princess
Man.
Aurora. Sayla's really into Sleeping Beauty right now.
How
so.
many hours did Sleeping Beauty sleep for? It's trivia. I think it was like 100 hours.
It was years. It was how many years?
Yeah, right.
I was like, I
Years.
missed that part of the movie. I was like, they all look good after 100 years. What kind of
100
Botox they
years,
got?
what? Jay, what you got, man?
Jay.
Hey,
Hey,
Jay.
What's up, y'all? Bucket list is to go to outer space.
Hey,
Oh,
take me with
Elon,
you.
Elon.
Let's see what's up there.
I don't know if I'll ever make it, but
Yeah, we'll try.
Yeah.
That's what bucket lists are for, you know?
yeah. And classic Disney movie would be Lion King.
Lion King.
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata.
There's a whole generation of us.
Let's brag about the boys real quick.
That's right.
Tim at CrossFit,
CrossFit Daddy.
Hey.
Hey, can we tell that story,
Someone else
please?
who got bullied by Instagram name.
The Fosters 2 for 2 on the
2 for 2.
Instagram bullying. So who gave you the CrossFit Daddy handle, Tim?
I have to thank Abby for that one.
Oh, you're welcome.
Our marketing genius over here.
There she is.
branding maven.
Yeah.
Fine. What was it originally? It was just Tim Backers,
It was just
right?
like, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was just,
Oh,
it's
we
just
were
his
trying to figure
name.
that out last
Yeah.
night.
I was
what
like,
was
see,
it
it
before
wasn't
CrossFit
as
Daddy?
memorable as CrossFit Daddy. That is a proper branding for Tim.
It was
really
it was
is.
my Instagram, and I don't even remember what it was called.
Because it didn't matter before
It-
the CrossFit
no,
Daddy.
no.
He came out like a phoenix, this
Wait,
guy.
because you would hashtag CrossFit Daddy, right?
Well, it was a bunch of hashtags, and I was like, that's a bomb hashtag.
yeah,
So then when I came in after I saw that, it was like a 5 a.m. So before I was coaching at the 5 a.m., I was training at the 5 a.m., and Tim was like my road dog. We were just always unintentionally competing. And I'd just be like, CrossFit Daddy. I was like, that's got to be an Instagram name. That's your
For
handle,
sure.
bro. And when he changed it, I was like, I couldn't be more proud.
It
I like
just
want to
stuck.
shed a tear.
Remember when we were curious to know, like, is that how like men look for other CrossFit men?
yes.
Like the hashtag
I was like, I'm
CrossFit
gonna have to
Daddy.
search this hashtag, Timmy. But now there's Clifton, so we don't have to
We
search
don't
the
have to worry about
hashtag.
that.
Clifton got him. But I'm just saying.
Clifton locked him up. Tim is a beast, man. You guys know anything about him? He's had a couple surgeries that he's
Comeback
bounced back
kid right
from.
here.
He is the double comeback kid.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, he's an L2, getting ready to try to get his L3 this year.
That's right. We're speaking it. We're speaking
It's
into it.
happening.
We're claiming it.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then we got our guy Jay.
Hella blessed.
Good morning, my folks. Happy Saturday. Yeah, I feel like you know better than I
Hope
do.
you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good morning, even better rest of your day. As always,
always
keep
fun.
keep peace in your mind today and every
This
day
day
moving
moving
forward.
forward.
And then you gotta hit them with some wisdom or something funny. Like I live for that moment. I was trying to practice it last night, and I was just rolling off the tongue. He's like, "I hate you." I was like,
She memorizes it so well.
I love it though. I love it. Like again, good branding. Good branding.
Thank you.
Bomb branding on the clothing company. Not mad at that.
Yeah, man. Jay loves Olympic weightlifting. National champion? Getting there?
No,
Chasing
not
it?
yet. Chasing it.
All right, he's
Hopefully.
chasing
Claiming
national-
it.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah.
He's got a dope clothing brand, Hella Blessed. Tell us about it. How long you been running Hella Blessed for, and what's the goal with it? What's the direction you're trying to go?
The brand Hella Blessed has been around maybe 3 or 4 years. Clothing been doing about 2.5. The direction I'd like to go is to help the underserved community, especially the youth with fitness.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it, Jay. So before we get into our topics and discussion with our fellas, now we got trivia for you guys. We got a game for you guys. This
It's
game
called-
is called
I should have known that.
I Should Have Known
And
That.
we were playing
I
it
should
last
have known
night,
that.
and let me tell you, the name is appropriate. And we picked a game because Tim loves games. So we went out to dinner one time with like Tim and Clifton and our kids. And like we're trying to entertain the kids and like professional over
Out of
here.
nowhere.
Out of nowhere, they like just have this table game. I was like, wow, like the mom hack I needed that I got from like my best little gay couple. I'm like, thank you so much. Like the parenting tips I didn't know I needed. The kids loved it. And so when we got this game we were playing, I was like, you know who would probably love this is Tim and Clifton. So we had to bring it.
Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna ask you guys 3 questions is best out of 3. Right?
All right,
You guys
so
ready?
Whoever answers, you just yell out the answer and then best out of 3 that way. So get competitive. It's going down.
So we're gonna start off with an somewhat easy question, I think. What color is formed by mixing blue and yellow?
Green.
Oh, dang.
Tim with the fire. Quick.
Yeah, see, he knows his color wheel. Okay.
I'm about to
Tim
sweep
won.
the mic away.
Yeah.
Work it out.
J0.
It's like WWE in here.
Question number 2. How many stomachs does a cow
2.
have?
3.
Keep guessing.
4.
4!
Hey, you're like, I know it's more than one.
Close enough.
Sometimes I feel like I have more than one.
That was perfect.
When it's the ribs, you know, I need 4 stomachs for the ribs.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
what it is.
So the score is
So good.
1-1. Tied up. Tiebreaker. Championship
come
for
on,
all
roll
the
up the sleeves.
marbles.
Let's get it.
How long does it typically take for an alarm to go off again after the snooze button is hit?
2 minutes.
4 minutes.
5 minutes.
9.
Nice!
I
was
thought it
random.
7.
We're quiet.
Good job,
Timothy is the
Tim.
winner of I Should Have Known
See?
That, and we should have known that he was going to win. It's just a board
It's
game
the
guy.
game- it's
That's
the
what they
game
do.
guy.
That's what they do for fun. So now we're going to dig into our questions where we have you guys just kind of tell people your background and what got you into coaching. What were you doing prior to coaching?
All right. I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I got into CrossFit in 2017 by way of my wife.
Maria, shout out to
Yeah.
Hella Blessed too.
So she got me into CrossFit. And from there, I just loved it. I loved the community, and I love the way that the coaches that I was learning from, how they were so attentive to how we moved. And I was like, oh, I want to do this
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Were you doing something before that, or was that the first thing you kind of jumped into?
Before
in a group
that, it's
setting?
just like boot camps,
Okay.
bodybuilding.
Got it.
like, I was always into sports, so I was always doing something. But yeah,
2017.
Yeah.
That was a start.
That's it.
Yeah.
Tim, what about you, man?
Started CrossFit, I think, in 2012 or 2013. Resisted it for a long time. I had a bunch of friends doing it in Chicago, and I was like, absolutely not. No way. That's not
Now
a
look at
thing.
you, CrossFit Daddy.
This is ridiculous. Like, why would you do that? And then I saw the games on TV one year, and I was like, that's cool. Like, I want to do that. I want to be part of that. And then my friend like dragged me to the gym. He was like, you're going to love it. I swear. And I fell in love with it like right away. I think there was a period there where I went back and forth, where I went to a couple classes at one gym, didn't fit in, did not enjoy the community. Like, just didn't, the coaching was kind of off. So I was like, nah, it's still not for me. Went back to their new gym, and then that was it. Like, I was hooked. And then from there, had some bad coaching at that gym, and I was like, well, I can do this. Like, I'm a trainer, like, in my real life. Yeah. Maybe I can do this. And so I jumped into the L1 in Chicago, took the L1 and did all that. Then went off and judged regionals when regionals were still a thing way back in the day.
I miss regionals.
And had a blast. Like, just loving it. I love the competitive side of it. I love how it pushes me. And like, I don't have to think about what I'm going to do when I go into the gym. Like pre-CrossFit, you show up at like a Gold's Gym or like a Glow gym.
You were like Will with the magazine.
Yeah,
that was
like,
such a good story.
Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. I don't know what I'm feeling today. Like here, like you show up, it's written. Yeah, everybody's doing the same.
All
shit.
you have to do is just keep showing up.
Just show up and do it. And so like for me, it took the thought out of it, and it's 1 hour, and you like sweat like nobody's business.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever told the story about my first time going to CrossFit. I did not go in.
I
was a personal trainer. I've been a personal trainer for like 4 months. I was into interval training and HIIT training. It was a new thing, functional fitness. Thought I was the baddest.
The TRX guy.
Yeah. You know, like always in the corner doing my own thing. And I was like, man, I want to try that CrossFit stuff. It looks pretty cool. And then I hit this gym up, and that's when all the gyms had on-ramp, right? It's like, oh, you have to do this 4-week on-ramp. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like, I'm a trainer. I don't need no on-ramp. Can I just come through? So like, yeah, come by 5:30 class tonight. And this was, it was at the sports park or something like that. And I remember parking there and watching all these people walk in. And I was just like, I can't do it. I just
he literally
can't do
came
it.
home, and I was like, I thought you were taking a class. He said, couldn't do it.
Nope.
Like, couldn't walk in the door.
Couldn't do it.
And I was just shocking to me, because if you guys know anything about he's pretty bold, and he's a very action-oriented person. He just jumps into action, sometimes without thought, but it's fine. Like, he gets us into action. That's all that matters. And so I was so confused. I was expecting him home, an hour and a half later, and he walked through the door, and he's just like,
nope.
Didn't do it.
Yeah. So then I was training at 24 Hour Fitness one day, and then this guy walks in
with horse quads.
And this was like 2011, 2010, where like everyone was wearing long basketball shorts to the knees, and this guy walked in with these short little, they call them skivvies, like the military shorts, and like a white V-neck shirt with his last name on, some Chuck Taylors on, like none of those Nike Air Max with all the bubbles on it, but you just had these massive quads. I remember he walked in.
He literally came home again and talked about
like
that
guy.
And that was Colby.
That was Colby. Yeah. Shout out to Colby. Whatever he's up to, man. He's the one that got me into CrossFit.
And then he was a coach for us for a little bit, and then opened Combine.
Yeah. And then I went over and I asked him, he was doing a work. I was like, hey, man, you doing that CrossFit stuff? Can I jump in on this with you one day? And he's like, yeah, you're going to be here tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, sweet. Let's do it. So he comes in the next day. He brings his 53-pound kettlebell and then brings me his wife's like 35-pound kettlebell. And I was like slightly offended at first. I was like, oh, thanks, bro. I mean, I get it. It's going to be new for me. We did this 7-minute workout that had like burpees, pull-ups, and kettlebell swings or something in it. And I was laying on the floor, like dying after 7 minutes. And I thought I was in shape. And as soon as we finished, I was just like, are you coming back tomorrow to do that again? Like, let's do it again. And you just get hooked. I don't know what it is about it.
And then you peer pressured me into it. He's like, we're going to go do this workout at this place. It's barbell for boobs. I'd never done like a clean and jerk in my life. And I had to do Grace for my first workout. I wouldn't recommend that for the record. As a coach, do not recommend doing Grace RX for your first workout ever when you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it was that peer pressure, same thing, waterfall effect.
Yeah. So go ahead and give us your guys' full-time gigs. What do you do for a living, Jay?
I work for an airlines company. Been doing that for 23 years.
Man.
And that's what brought you back down to Vegas, right? You transferred down here for opportunity and then brought it to us. I mean, really, we're the one that got the opportunity.
Appreciate
you.
Are you allowed to discuss like what it is you do?
Yeah, I work on the ramp. Yeah, I work on the ramp throwing bags.
Yeah.
Transportation of bags.
Yeah, and don't be
flagging the
blaming
plane
them
in.
if your bag is messed up. Maybe you should pack better.
Oh, man. The bags are just getting heavier and heavier.
That's
now,
right. We
so.
stuffing everything in there. I'm one of those people sometimes, Jay. I'm sorry. Sometimes I feel like if I ever travel, I should text you just in case it's my plane. Like,
I'm sorry
yo,
if
please.
your bag doesn't make it.
I'll be like, Jay, it's this one. Can you just do me a homie hookup? Like, make sure
like you got to have some wild stories. You got any wild stories you can share about bagging?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest with you. Like chicken. Well, we transport some animals, or we used to. So I remember like crabs. And falling out, at
Like a
one
pet
point-
crab or like
No,
a crab to
crabs
eat?
that get eaten.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I was like a little
restaurants-
hermit crab. Like,
No.
hey, Henry.
So a lot of times crabs will break out of the box. So you'll get in the bin and there's like crabs coming around. Or
That's hilarious.
I think one time there was like little chickens.
Yeah. That's pretty fun.
What are y'all packing in your bags?
Yeah. Tim, what you got, man? What you do, man?
So I work for an online gaming company. I'm the senior manager in charge of all training and development for all of the customer-facing teams.
Hey.
So you need some customer service training, on the side gig. We got somebody for you. Slide into my DM. I will get you his contact.
So yeah, been doing that for 3 years and loving every minute of it and hating some moments, but
That's management.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's really fun though. At the end of the day, it's a lot of creative work that I get to do, and my team that I have is wonderful, and couldn't ask for a better group.
Is that part of what brought you to Vegas?
Yeah, that's why I came to Vegas.
Got it.
It was
So-
because Social City.
Yeah.
Didn't you know?
You know.
Well, Social City was like the gym. Like you guys were the
Yeah.
only gym I checked out. I saw your social network, like your social media, and I was like, things look dope. Like this looks like you got a professional photographer. There's like cool lights, like all these things.
Okay.
And I was just like, the vibe is just
Yeah.
there. Like it's just right. And so I walked in, and then the first day was like you and I think Christy was there.
Oh, yeah. The
Shay,
5 a.m. crew.
The whole 5 a.m. like these strong alpha females. And I
Yeah,
walked
we got
in
a little alpha energy in the morning.
just having come off of COVID too. It's like I hadn't been CrossFitting for like, I don't know, almost a month, and plus the move. And I was like, damn, I'm like really intimidated. Like, do I belong here?
Yeah, you
But
do.
you guys were so welcoming, and it just it stuck. So.
Yeah, Tim became like my running buddy too during when we had run club and whatnot. We like really bonded over that. Our little like rides in the car. Like, and then when I realized that I didn't need to drive as far that one time, yeah. It's fine. Tim up levels my game and paying attention.
Yeah, hopefully your hip starts to get better. We got to get
I
back
know.
on our
we're
running,
gonna-
y'all.
we watched this. It was like a meme, or not a meme. It was a video that I had sent to O of just somebody accomplishing a marathon and them crying. And I'd done a half, and O kind of sweated me on doing a
No,
half.
it was deeper than that. It was the first guy who was like 78% disabled
Yes.
or 80% disabled to finish a marathon.
Yes, and so the emotional part of that. But I remembered like even my half, and I was so emotional. I came home, and O's response was like, "Well, why didn't you just run a full?" I was like, so now I feel my competitive
about it.
nature is like, "Well, I'm sorry, my 13
Come on,
miles
y'all-
wasn't enough."
Y'all know how fit Abby is. Like a half
Hey,
marathon.
my side, guys.
It's like a half marathon. It's like we
Where are the
already
ladies? Put them back.
knew. We
on.
already knew
That's
you.
my crew.
We already knew you could run a half marathon,
Oh,
boo. But congratulations.
Thank
I was proud
Under
of you.
2 hours. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm not a
congrats.
runner.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm
Jody
not-
said I did good. I take that as a huge compliment from her. She is a runner.
So let's go ahead and talk about the most rewarding part about being a coach, man.
I think the most rewarding part, I think I'm being selfish with it, but it's what the athletes and what they teach me, to be honest with you. Because when I'm coaching them, it's like I'm also learning from them.
Yeah.
And then also seeing if they enjoyed that hour of their day.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the most rewarding part for me.
Totally.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. What you got, Tim?
For me, it's watching people push themselves, really like push themselves to a place where it hurts. But
Yeah.
then by the time they walk away, they're like, dude, that was so cool. I can't believe I just did that. It's very similar to like what Jody and B said, but I love it when people push themselves to their kind of limit and then go just a little bit beyond, like just to that point of ouch, and then just a little bit beyond. And then they walk away going, man, I feel great. I'll see you tomorrow. Like that
Yeah.
sucked.
Mm-hmm.
That sucked, but I will be back tomorrow. I will see you in the morning, bright and early at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I think it's
Yeah.
also cool, like learning the athletes
Mhm.
and how they
Mhm.
want to
Mhm.
be pushed.
Yeah.
Recognizing how they want to be pushed.
Yeah, what do they want out of the
Yeah.
experience? It's like you
Mhm.
have those people that are in there that are like they're going for it, right? Like they're looking for progress. And there are other people that it's not maintenance, but it's like, listen, like I want to move and I want to move well and I want to feel good, but like I'm kind of passing where my 1 rep back squat is going to be, right? But I'm still getting that same stimulus and whatnot, and then learning. We always talk about it's like being on stage and having an audience and kind of learning with each audience like what they're going to get the most out of. You always want them to obviously to move well and to get a good workout,
Yeah.
but that's bare minimum to me. That's a bare minimum good class.
Yeah.
So to have that art of like, okay, I'm really loud for the 5 a.m. I think generally the 5 a.m. is pretty quiet, but they know if they're coming to my class on a Wednesday, like they're getting a firecracker first thing in the morning because I've probably now cold plunged, which has added like another level. Like we didn't need that. But at the same time, it's like the infusion of what you're bringing into the class and like that stage. And like you said, it's kind of every class is different.
Yeah.
Every class has its own little subculture and its own little ecosystem. And it really does change the coaching experience when you get to know that. Because I remember the very first class I ever coached I was not prepared. This was like when we were at the compound. I think I had just gotten my L1.
Fresh.
I'd never even like mentored O or anything. Obviously, I'd taken classes like a million times. And he had some dental work or something done. And I came home and I cried.
She just cried.
I cried. And I was like, I'm never going to coach a class again. This was so hard.
Yeah.
And it gave me such I was in theater most of my life. I have no problem public speaking. I'm not shy, as we know. So it was kind of surprising to me to be so humbled in that experience, but it gave me such an appreciation for what the coaches do and what they bring to the stage, because it isn't just about time
Teaching
management
movements.
and good movement.
Yeah.
It is really, really about like the experience and like what you're bringing beyond those two things. Like that's just the bare minimum, you know?
Yeah.
But it changed my perspective on coaching. And then I don't think I coached for like a few years. I was scarred.
Devastated.
It was like PTSD.
She was. I
And
felt so bad.
it wasn't the members' fault. I was not prepared.
Yeah.
And it was also that culture of like, we're friends with our members and just not knowing how to control a group.
Yeah,
or
it
control
wasn't
a
that you weren't
class.
prepared to teach the movements and the exercise and the workout. It was like the communication with a
Yes.
group of adults.
Yes,
How do you manage
it's
that?
the dance that you do with your
Yeah.
classes. You want people to have a good time, and it's Social City. So obviously there's a social element. But I remember coming home and looking at Owen just having such a new level of respect of like the scenarios that he dealt with, or when you're in a class and there's way too many people or enough people you weren't planning for. That sign into Zen Planner. Sign into Zen Planner. PSA, sign into Zen Planner. One more time. But it gave me an appreciation for what it takes. And I just, to all of you guys, to all of our coaches, we have a couple that weren't able to make it today as well. I just want our members to know how much you guys care.
Yeah.
It's so much more than getting a certification. Like you guys all have full-time gigs, you know what I mean? And have families and things to do. And yet you guys make time for them and you care and you guys communicate if someone's injured or someone comes in with an injury, like from probably Frisbee, just saying. Huh? Just kidding. I love you guys. I'm just saying. But communicating that so the other coaches know, right? So that way, if someone comes in, we know how to accommodate that. And I was telling O last night, I was like, man, I just really want people to know how blessed we are to have a staff that we don't got no problems. I mean, honestly, like we hear some horror stories and we've been so blessed, and we don't
for
ever
sure.
hella blessed to not have to worry about some of the other things that operationally kind of happen with staff, right? People are people, and sometimes there are problems. We know that. And yet we don't have to deal with any of that. Like you guys go above and beyond, show up for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's every single coach.
Yeah, show up and show up early for
Yes.
everything and get stuff
Yes.
set up. There'll be some mornings when I'm coaching and like Tim will have already
Tim's
things set up for me, and I'm like, wow, thank you, Tim. You're a blessing. Like,
Seriously.
getting all that out stressful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so true.
So before we get into closing out our segment, we closed out on Momentum Session 3 this morning, and we did some breath work. And I've been telling Abby about it. I'm like, it's kind of hard to explain because you hear breath work and some people just think like, oh, you're going to go learn how to breathe. Like, do you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth? And I don't think they understand like a 60-minute breathwork session. It was kind of therapeutic, and I think there's different names to it. Some of them call it somatic breathing, and some of them call it, like Wim Hof style breathing. But we were able to tap in pretty deep and write a letter to our inner child and our inner 6-year-old self. It hit me hard. I had done this before in November at a mastermind. I had like a big breakthrough on just like the insecurities and obstacles that I faced within myself. So I didn't really quite know what that experience on the second time was going to be like, but I was just hoping that the men that I had there got something and gained something out of it. You guys want to talk about like your experience with the breath work this morning, or how momentum is hit for you? Because you made it to sessions 2 and 3, and then Tim made it for session 3, yeah. Just
Oh,
share
you
your
got it
experience
like
with
in
that.
on the intense one, Tim.
Yeah.
Like full octane on the last one, like punch
Totally.
the
Would
face.
you expect anything less?
No,
I
no,
literally
full
have one
send.
speed, like
That's
on
why
or
we're
off.
friends. That's why we're friends. Tim and I have
Pedal
one
to the
speed.
metal. That's it. One speed.
All gas, no brake.
My experience has been great, just for myself in understanding things, from the cold plunge, just doing hard things, and the breath work this morning. Like I felt like I was in the cold plunge again. Like honestly, I was cold. We had a blanket over us, but I was like freezing. So it was just an amazing experience. Wrote a letter to our 6-year-old self, and it's just understanding our traumas, how to deal with them better, understanding ourselves, and communicating.
Yeah.
Most of all, yeah. If I understand myself, then I could understand how I'm acting towards you.
Yes.
If it's not right, if I should step back. And I could also understand other people as well, having empathy. Like, I've been in this place and I understand where you're at. And if you're not in the right place, let me step back because you need some space.
Yeah. And empathy is so different than, there's a Brene Brown video. I think I shared it with Tim one time because I had seen it. I don't know when I had seen it, but it was such a incredible depiction of the difference between sympathy and empathy. And I think for men, I mean, I'm not a guy, but it's like you don't really see men share empathy, right? Because that's not something that's kind of culturally encouraged, to be sharing empathy towards others, let alone towards one another. And when O came home, it just seemed like there was such a powerful, I felt like so jealous. I was like, I have masculine energy. Can I go? I think I would love this.
I think there are other women that are like, when are we going to momentum
Ladies,
camp?
we will have something. I promise. I promise. Let the men have a moment. We got lots of stuff. Let them have some space.
Yeah,
but
and Jay and I had a moment because we were like, realized that we went through similar experiences and traumas
powerful.
as a kid this morning. So to like bond over that was huge. You know, like we went through the whole 60-minute ride, and it was intense.
Yeah.
The first 10 minutes was kind of like guys needed to kind of just let go and let loose and be vulnerable and open up their hearts to receive. And then it was like 20-minute mark is when guys started to get a little vocal, you know, there was like some yelling and there was some screaming and guys were able to release. And then you kind of felt like as a whole, it was like, okay, we're all in this together, fellas. Like,
there's no shame.
We're not judging whoever that was in the corner making noises. Like, we are here to heal and to move past our hurts, you know?
Super powerful.
And then it kind of like, it was like peaking when guys started crying, and there were guys who were bawling their eyes out. And it's for some of it seemed kind of early, you know. For me, I was like, wait, that seems kind of early to be letting that out. But I was like, hey, we're all in this together. Like, there's no judgment.
And there's probably stuff at the surface that like you don't realize is there, and then it's one of those things where it's like you
that's
barely
exactly what it was.
scrape it, and it almost it's like that. It's out.
We just started peeling back layers, and then for me, like the tears started to roll because they were shout out to Devin Flynn. We got to give it up for him. He guided us through that whole practice, and he came in new to the space and he crushed it. Yeah, he did such a killer job. But when he asked us to write a letter to our 6-year-old self, I was struggling with that. I couldn't quite connect the dots on that, and I realized
like disassociation.
I realized through this breathwork journey that my life as a child from ages 5 to 10 were a blur, just because of trauma and from hurt and you know from being.
That's how you protect yourself.
I just wanted to take a second to kind of share that experience because I think it was deep. Like, what did you experience there, Tim?
It was intense. It was I didn't know what to expect walking in, and I'm an emotional person in some aspects, but in other aspects, I'm very like guarded, wall up.
No, you don't say. Guys, I climbed over that wall. Let me tell you.
Been through a lot, and I just had no idea what was going to happen with me. Like, I wasn't sure if I was going to be willing to like let go and go with it. Because normally in those situations, I'm kind of like, I'm not sure.
Block
like,
it off.
what are people going to think? And as soon as other people started like letting the emotion out, it was like instant. Like, I started to feed on that. Like, I heard you because you were right next to me start going. Then I lost it. And then I think it was Mark in the corner over here started going. I was like, dang, like they're going deep. And then something just kind of hit. I think it was something that Devin said actually, and just kind of unlocked.
Open the gate,
And I was like shaking at one point, and like he came over and he actually like put his hand on my chest and on my shoulder to try to like get me to calm because I was drawing inward physically. And like it was intense. It was crazy.
And that was the thing I was telling you, because he came and he touched me, and I was thinking at that moment I was in my inner child. And when he touched me, I was like, that's what men need. When we're hurting, like we just need to be touched, you know, and you're so good about that. Whenever I have a breakdown and I'm going through it, like you are the first one to reach over and touch and hurt and hug me and provide comfort. And when he came and touched me as well, I was like, oh man, that's what I need. I just need to feel comfort.
No, what's crazy is you have fought that most of our relationship. Like, I remember, I mean, you didn't like break down in front of me for years and years and years. I think until we were engaged, I actually saw any tears flow, and I thought you were joking that first time, remember? And we were like in the middle of a conversation. We were talking about emo music, and then O had played an emo song that had reminded him of his childhood, and then he was singing it. I was doing my hair in the bathroom, and we kept like joking just about like, how ridiculous, like some of these, not ridiculous how some of these songs were, but it's like they're so emotional, you know, and listening to it when you're a little older it just hits different. And I was telling him about a song I used to tease my dad with or whatever. Everything was really lighthearted. And then O played this song and I heard him like crying, like, and I literally thought he was like joking, like, isn't this song so emotional? And I come out like literally curling iron in hair, like poking out of the bathroom, and he was breaking down. I'd never seen him like that. And so my instinct was to comfort. And I remember that just being such a hard thing for you to accept. So to see you full circle and kind of grow to that point and then recognize that you now actually give that out. Like I'm so, used to tell me when he, you know, private train clients and whatnot, it's a really emotional relationship sometimes. So when people are going through things and they're one-on-one, they might be doing a back squat and it's hard and all of a sudden they're crying because really they got in a fight with their boyfriend or something or something really bad happened. Maybe it's not like something as maybe trivial as that. And I was like, well, what did you do? Like, cause I'm very empathetic. And so I'm like, well, what did you do? And I was like, well, nothing. I was like, you didn't give him like a hug or like
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't know what to do. What was I supposed
and then
to do?
I sent him a meme. I don't know if you guys have seen the meme where it's like somebody giving comfort and it's like a broom and they're like touching the person with a broom. It's like that used to be like the visual of O's empathy.
Yeah,
so
I've
it's
grown.
been,
Things have changed, you know?
it's
I'm a
incredible.
changed man.
That's
It's
great.
incredible.
But we hit that peak when everyone was kind of crying, and then I don't know who started kind of laughing first, or something sounded like a laugh, but like it just kind of made me start to smile.
Yep.
And in that moment, I was thinking like, this is it, fellas.
Yeah.
Like one of those things where you go through so much pain, it just becomes funny. And I was thinking like, we all just had a breakthrough. We all just realized that we're hurt little kids, but we all have access to tapping into that part of us that's hurt, that we can heal, you know?
Yeah.
And it just felt good to kind of, like all the guys just kind of start laughing. I mean, at least 18 of the 20 guys just kind of laughing in like this moment of joy.
So
And it was such a
cool.
powerful thing, man. I'm just so glad that you guys
And
got
laughing's
something from it.
contagious.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you ever see that one where a guy just starts laughing in the subway and then another person starts
Yep.
laughing?
Yep.
It was kind of, that's what it
That's
felt
what it
like. I heard
was,
someone laughing and then I heard someone else laughing and giggling and then it just made me smile.
Yeah,
I love
totally.
that.
It was powerful.
Happiness
so
is contagious
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
thank you guys for sharing that. We're going to go ahead and close out our show with some gratitude. So give us 3 things that you guys are grateful for. Jay, what you got, man?
I'm grateful for my wife.
Hey.
Hella blessed too.
Hella
Yeah.
blessed too.
Maria.
Hi, Maria.
Grateful for my daughters.
Yeah.
And
Girl
I-
dad.
Yeah, I love them. And I am grateful for Social City and the experience and the opportunities that you guys have given me.
Oh man, we love you guys.
Love you guys. Appreciate you.
Real talk.
Tell me what you got.
Grateful for my partner, the one and only
Clifton.
Davis Clark.
At Get Clifton, if you guys need some
Get Clifton.
style. If you guys see this jacket that Tim is wearing, his outfit is
Stunting.
fire. Just saying.
He keeps me looking good.
Mhm. And you look good by yourself
you
too.
know.
You know.
I'm trying.
You do it.
You doing?
Grateful for you two. For you guys made my transition to Vegas so easy. Just I felt like I belonged immediately, and that was before I met Clifton and
Yeah.
going through a lot at that point. So just so grateful for you guys and the space that you guys have created.
Well, you
and,
do belong.
You know,
Yeah, you do.
it feels awesome. And then just grateful for the ability to get up and move every day. Like
Yes.
that I have that
Amen
ability,
to
even
that.
though I've got
Yes.
pain sometimes and I'm not feeling great or mentally you're in a tough spot. The fact that you can still get up and push through and do some hard shit, like that is really cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I'm grateful for just the day.
Yeah.
Be able to wake up every morning,
Yeah.
take it all in, you know? Every morning you wake up is a blessing. We're not always guaranteed
Absolutely.
tomorrow, so I'm always just grateful to wake up. You know, I jump in the cold plunge. I guess that's my number 2. The cold plunge has been good for me because I've been just diving into prayer. It's just kind of my moment in my time to just have a conversation with God. You know, I usually set a timer for 3 minutes, and now I can just go in and turn on the music. That's what you do, right? Turn on the music and just go for a minute. But I've been just turning on music.
A minute.
I've been missing my timer and
minute.
just missing my
and
timer
I
and
have
just
like a
going to
little
conversation.
competition happening
course you
unintentionally
do.
about like,
Of course you
Yeah,
do.
Abby's a
Why am I
one-upper.
not
She'll try to
surprised?
one-up me.
no, Tim knows nothing about that.
No.
What'd you deadlift? 5 pounds more.
Literally, it would be like a 5-pound difference or like a
was.
2-pound difference.
And then we're just super grateful for our coaches. All of you guys, man. I mean that. Jody, V, Jay, Tim. We got Lee
Yeah.
on board. We're bringing on Dion. I'm just
Dion.
grateful for you guys. Like Abby said, we hear horror stories. We've been through our own obstacles with coaches as well. And it just feels good to know that you guys are invested in it and to see how much you guys care about everyone in the gym.
Yeah, and
including
not
us.
just care about like us and the business, but like you guys really all care so much about the members. And I get last night we were talking about just like what we're going to talk about today. I was like, man, the one thing, I mean, this is a broader audience than just our members, but I just hope that anyone that has come through our program, anyone that's in our program, anyone that will be in our program, I just hope they realize that like the people that show up for them every day, like it's not a job. Like you guys all have full-time gigs. You all have things going on and you show up because you care. And it's not just because you care for us, you care for them. And that's such a special thing to have somebody notice when you're not at class or if you notice something is going on with somebody, the communication we get from any of the coaches is like, hey, keep an eye on this person. They're going through a season right now. And maybe they need some support. Like just being in tune with them beyond their physical body and movement and whatnot is just such a powerful thing, man.
Yeah, it is.
So what I'm grateful for, I want to start by saying I'm super grateful for my mom, Jamie. I had a really, really horrific flare-up this week with my rheumatoid arthritis, and they've been really bad lately, and they take me down pretty hard. It's like having the flu on steroids and your bones are on fire. And it really takes me out. And I usually kind of isolate during those times because I don't like asking for help. And I get really kind of like embarrassed, even though it's not my fault. If you have an autoimmune disease, you know what that's like. It's like this invisible thing because everyone thinks you're fine. You look healthy and one day you're not okay. And the next day you're fine. What's going on? You might just have a cold. But she like showed up and kind of like inserted herself to help me with the kids, came over and made me soup. And just, I got to watch her play with our kids. And while she might not be the mom that birthed me, she's the mom that chose me. And that's such a powerful thing. And she loves our kids. It's gonna make me emotional, but super grateful for her. I'm also incredibly grateful for my niece and goddaughter, Ella. We just left her birthday party.
Yeah, we did. Happy birthday, Ella.
Happy birthday, Ella Bella, my cherie. I mean, I love all my nieces and nephews, but she was my niece that we share a middle name after my grandmother. And I just love her. She's such a little ray of sunshine. So I'm super grateful for her. And last but not least, I'm grateful for Uriah's first tooth being loose. It's hanging by a thread. He's at Grandma and Grandpa's right now. And by the time this podcast comes out, it's going to be missing and I'm going to be a mess. But losing his first tooth today. And I just thought to myself, a big part of my testimony and a big part of my story has been how my life has changed so much over the last 2 years and my priorities and knowing my kids intimately and knowing their idiosyncrasies and what makes them so unique, and just to not miss out on like the little moments, like something like a loose tooth. It's been this like journey of him like wiggling it since like Christmas, because it was like all I want for Christmas was my 2 front teeth. We kept playing that song because I thought for sure it was coming out.
As soon as his tooth got loose, I was like, oh man, when that thing comes out, your mom's gonna cry.
And so he's been wiggling it all day, and he's like, "You gonna cry? You gonna cry?" Yes, I'm gonna cry, Uriah. When we rewatch this, mommy's crying because mommy loves you, because mommy remembers when your first tooth came in.
Yeah.
And so just really, really grateful to have the opportunity to know them, really know them. So.
Well, that wraps up episode 3, y'all.
Woo!
Yeah. Subscribe to
Nice.
the YouTube. Check us out on Spotify, iTunes.
And comment.
Yeah, one thing I
upset-
forgot. Yep. Is to go ahead and comment your guys' obsession of the week. Shout out to our little guy, Hank.
And Lennox.
Hank and
too.
Lennox and Amy Fleury have been listening to the podcast, and
Mike.
they were giving their obsessions of the week. What was his?
Concerts? No, he was
Concerts.
grateful for concerts. What was his
Yeah.
obsession of the week? Oh man, now we're bumming
So we'll have
it.
to pull.
But it's been really cool to hear how the little stories have kind of come out like that. Like people are talking about their obsession of the week. So we want to know what your obsessions of the week are. So Instagram, YouTube, whatever you're listening to, if you can comment, like, or subscribe, go ahead and add that in there so we can get some good tips and tricks on what to be obsessed with next.
That's right. And remember, you are made with a purpose, on a purpose, and we'll talk to you all next week. Peace.
Chicken grease.
Chicken grease. Fit Force, you know woo. Woo!